Good morning, 603, Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. Miss Erin's got local news getting ready right now.
More violence in Shreveport. A man is murdered. We'll talk about that. A bizarre car crash claims the life of a Barksdale airman, and parents of a Benton elementary student are suing the system.
First segment, we're going to talk about something that you and I have discussed on numerous occasions.
Which is?
I'm going to tell you when we get to the first segment,
Okay.
But it is family related.
Uh-oh.
No, it'll be okay.
All
but
right.
It's something that you and I have both done. We both see eye to eye. How often does that happen? And LSU.
Woohoo.
Plus 14 and a half.
I don't matter.
They're the biggest underdog at home since 1999.
I don't matter.
Fletcher and sports, traffic and weather, it's all coming up this hour, and it's here on Keel.
Hour of information. KEEL News now.
A man is murdered, gunman still on the run. Matt Parker has the latest.
A man was shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. According to police, the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night when a vehicle pulled up and someone inside opened fire. The man was struck multiple times. Investigators are still searching for clues and suspects. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
A Barksdale airman killed in a car crash Saturday night. Eduardo Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car crash that ultimately claimed his life. State police say Ramos was driving south on I-49 when he collided with a bridge railing. A pileup ensued behind his single-car crash. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off the overpass and was struck by another car. Troopers say Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time. Parents of a Benton Elementary 9-year-old student who say their child was abused by alleged serial predator and teacher Perry Norcross have filed suit against the school system, alleging negligence. Legal analyst Tim Mesh says if evidence surfaces that the school was warned about Norcross, they could be in trouble.
There's information in his file showing that there were other complaints made that would need some type of evidence like that to be successful.
Norcross faces several charges today. Sunday night shooting leaves one wounded. According to police, more than 35 shots were fired from multiple guns during the incident. At this time, the only injury being reported is to a man who suffered a gunshot wound to the ankle area. Police say there are two crime scenes related, one on East Jordan, another on East Stoner. Shreveport Senator Greg Tarver has some harsh words for Adrian Perkins. He says this is just not the guy to lead the city.
We need someone in this race. Shreveport seems like if it continues this way where it's going to be a Detroit in 5 or 7 years from now. We've got to do something about bringing industry in here. We've got to do something about the infrastructure.
Perkins tells Keel, I am not entertaining Tarver. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. Some doctors say this year could be bad for the flu. Some cases are already starting to appear across the state. A survivor of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre describes the terrifying moment a gunman entered his darkened hiding spot. Barry Werber says the gunman didn't see us, thank God. 11 people were killed. 6 others were wounded. It's another World Series victory for the Red Sox. Boston captures its 4th World Series championship in 15 seasons, beating the LA Dodgers 5-1 Sunday in Game 5. The Senate Judiciary Committee chairman demanding answers into a California air base's almost $1,300 cups of coffee.
The Air Force in hot water for buying dozens of coffee cups over the past 3 years at California's Travis Air Force Base and spending almost $56,000 on those coffee cups. That Air Force Secretary Dr. Heather Wilson, responding to a Senate inquiry about wasteful spending, says the cups can reheat liquids on board cargo aircraft, telling Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Iowa Republican Chuck Grassley that a solution is in the works, though Grassley questioning why an alternative wasn't used in the first place. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Nine past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update starting us off, Monday morning. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 east and westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
Good morning at 6:12. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty. It's 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. As always, that KEEL app, a free download from Office Furniture Source. Okay, eyes on me because we have to talk about this. This is a topic that you and I have discussed on numerous occasions. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I say the opening, you'll know what it is. I can say one sentence, you'll know what happened last night.
Okay.
Erin's parents, my parents, are deceased.
Yes.
So, what's the topic of this segment?
Hugs.
No.
Not hugs?
No.
Oh, we're orphans.
Where did that come from?
Are we orphans?
Where did the hugs thing come from?
Because our last hug was when we lost a parent.
Oh, that's right. No, we
don't hug each other.
The only time we have had physical contact was at my dad's funeral.
Yeah.
But that's not what this is about.
Oh, we're orphans?
We have discussed on numerous occasions dreaming about our parents
Yes.
or deceased loved ones or just friends anyway. And what I always ask everybody, I talked to Rogers Hampton down the hall about his dad, Rogers Hampton Sr., this morning. I dreamed about my mom again last night, which is, I mean, it's not something happens all the time, maybe 4, 5, 7 times a year. And I said to him what I always say to you, when you dream about your mom or your dad, or in Roger's case, when you dream about your deceased father, are they alive or dead? I.e., do you just treat it like it's just another day and they're around? Or do you go, wait a second.
What are you doing here?
Like my mom. You died in 1998. I dreamed my mother was in my dream last night. Occasionally my dad's in the dreams. My 2 dead dogs are in my dreams every now and then.
Man.
And at no point in any dream where there are dead people does it occur to me to say, wait a second, didn't you die a few years ago?
Yeah, I never do.
What's the deal? No, like last night in the dream, it was me and my mom. And it was just another day. Well, not another day. I'll get to that in just a couple of seconds. It was a pretty creepy, weird dream.
Yeah.
But the point is, when you dream about your mom and dad, does it ever occur to you in those dreams that they're deceased?
No, it's just a regular day. We're doing whatever we're doing.
And then you wake up, you go, wait a second.
Now,
My mom died 5 years ago, or whatever it happens to be.
How did she pop up in the dream? Yeah.
Or why didn't in the dream, I'm aware of my mother's being gone. Why does it never occur to me in the dream that she's gone?
Yes. Never does.
Now, I told you that to tell you this. When we were back on KVKI, going back to like 2013 or 14, in fact, going back to the old 94.5 days, as far back as 2002 and 2003, we would have family therapist Dixie Richards on every Friday. What was it that Dixie said? Do you remember what it was?
Yes.
That Dixie said about dreams.
Yes.
And we would tell her about weird dreams, or listeners would call and say, what does this mean? And Dixie would say,
what is the emotion in your dream trying to tell you about the emotion you're going through in your real life?
In other words, to her, in many cases, it's not about
the people.
It wasn't about hot dogs chasing donuts through tunnels.
No.
Or anything weird or symbolic.
Or you flying or whatever, yeah.
The point is that whatever emotion you are experiencing in your dream, whatever you're having that emotion in real life is what the dream's about.
Yes.
So,
uh-oh.
You ready?
I'm scared now.
No. Think about that when I tell you this. Last night, in my dream, my mother and I, were smuggling cats out of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, no. Smuggling cats out of Saudi Arabia?
And I understand the dream.
Oh, wait a minute.
In an instant, when I woke up, I know what that dream's about. I mean, there's some goofy stuff going on in my life right now I'm not going to tell you about.
Wow.
At least on the radio. I dreamed my mother, who died in 1998, and I were smuggling cats out of Saudi Arabia, and I understand the dream.
What's that emotion?
Oh, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you off the radio, maybe.
Saving cats in Saudi... Are they killing them in Saudi Arabia or something?
It's a dream, first of all. It's not something I saw in the news. And what's even...
Are you packing them in your luggage?
That's odd. You mentioned that. Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And at one point, my mother says, because you know how I love dogs, she says, we don't have room for dogs.
Oh, no.
We can't take the dogs. Because I'm trying to convince her to take dogs.
Yes.
Back to America. No, we only have room for cats.
She's only saving cats.
My mother and I were smuggling cats out of Saudi Arabia.
What on earth emotion is going through your real life?
And I understand the dream.
Oh, I don't.
God, I wish I could tell you about it.
I know.
No.
Oh, my goodness, that's bizarre.
The Shreveport Security Systems text line is 318-392-1884.
You can guess the emotion if you'd like.
No, that's not even... we don't have... It's a 3-hour show. No, my question is, when you dream about deceased loved ones or friends, does it ever occur to you in that dream to go, Sit down a second, Ma.
Yeah.
You died in 1998.
What's heaven like?
What's the scoop?
Yeah.
Is Dad there, or is he still
Right.
doing the big purgatory thing?
Does he still make you biscuits?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I want to know a lot of things.
But it was me and my mom smuggling cans out of Saudi Arabia.
Smuggling cans
And I have a
out.
perfect 100%.
There's no explanation.
Yeah, I'll
There's
tell you.
no way.
You got to get a couple of drinks in me first. But that's what I had before the dream. 18 past 6 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, traffic update and weather updates from the Weather Channel just ahead. Right now, no, wait. Normally, we go to traffic first.
Do you want to do that just so you don't get thrown out of your rhythm?
Would you do that for me?
Hold on,
Okay,
Grandpa.
could you reload there for a couple of seconds? I got $100 if you want to race.
I
Traffic
got you.
update coming up right now. I forget where the finish line was. But I know what it meant. Traffic time. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 east and westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83.
FM, 710 Keel Sports Time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Minnesota was driving late in the second quarter, up 13-10 over the Saints, when Alex Anzalone popped the ball loose from Adam Thielen. Marshawn Lattimore scooped it up and raced to the Minnesota 33-yard line. A 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty set the Saints up in great shape. 2 plays later, Alvin Kamara cashed in from the 1-yard line to give the Saints a 17-13 lead. After a Will Lutz field goal to make it 20-13 in the third quarter, P.J. Williams was able to quieten the U.S. Bank Stadium crowd with a 45-yard pick six to push New Orleans up 27-13. The Saints go on to win 30-20, and they're now 6-1, and they will host the 8-0 Rams next Sunday. Steve Pearce cranked a 2-run home run in the first and added a solo shot in the eighth to back David Price's 7 strong innings on the mound in the Red Sox World Series clinching 5-1 win over the Dodgers. Pearce was named the World Series MVP for his 3-homer, 8 RBI performance that helped generate Boston's 4th title in 15 years. Calvary alum and former LSU Tiger All-American Sam Burns birdied 3 of his final 5 holes to finish tied for 3rd in the Sanderson Farms Championship on the PGA Tour. It's his first top 3 finish. He pockets $255,200 for his weekend effort. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Oh, no, that's for 7 o'clock.
I'm still working on it.
We have Cuvion, the poll guy, at 7:10.
Yes.
You hold in your hand
Oh, my goodness.
the notebook that contains the city's 2019 budget.
Yeah.
And it's in a notebook that you estimated to be about, it's in a notebook you said was about 5 inches thick. Being a guy, I said, is that about 10 inches? And 2, 3, 4.
This is irresponsible.
What is?
Let me just say. This whole budget.
Why?
It's irresponsible.
Explain.
We'll talk about it at 7 o'clock.
No, give me a couple of hints.
You're not leaving enough in the reserve. You're spending more than you're bringing in.
Serious.
2 big problems.
Wait. Did you find that? Did somebody show you that?
I
Or sort
found
of
the reserve.
A committee.
No, I found the reserve thing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else pointed out that you're spending more than you're bringing in, and you're dipping into the reserve fund now to spend more. You're increasing city department budgets
without increasing revenue.
Without the responding revenue, you're going into the hole. City council's going to have to amend this so it balances. I mean, they're going to have to amend it. Don't like it. I don't like seeing a city with the reserve fund as low as we're letting it get.
Which would be down to
$3.3 million, I think's the number.
Is in the scheme
That's
of
one lawsuit. Poof.
Is in the is in the scheme of budget reserves for cities our size. Is that a minuscule amount?
Yes,
What's the rule of thumb?
You should have 5 to 7%
of your total
budget. This year it dipped down to 2%. The 2018 budget's down to 2%. This one, the reserve fund is under 1%. Under 1%. You hear me? That's irresponsible.
So that originates in the mayor's office. Where does that come from?
Well, no, it's in the budget people. The finance people put it together, but they base it on her wants, the mayor's requests, and they obviously each department puts in their budget. Here's what we want. Yeah. And then
any departments getting big cuts? Any departments being cut at all?
I don't see very many cuts. What I did see was something odd, and I don't know why there's crickets at City Hall with me right now, but I'm getting crickets.
Because she's 10 points ahead.
Well, this is a budget question. Let me just tell you one thing I found, because I did a lot of reading.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Because she's 10 points ahead.
But this is an administrator. This has nothing to do with the campaign.
Everything right now. Everything has to do with the campaign.
Let me just say, let me say this to you.
Wow.
Zinger. Right now, this year, this is just one example, a stupid example, but it's an example. Right now, 18,000 youngsters go through the DARE program, Drug Abuse Resistance Education. Good program, helps a lot of youngsters. A lot of officers are involved. Okay, 18,000 kids this year and the year before. Next year, we're projecting to serve 8,000 kids. No budget change. Same amount of people, apparently.
Wait.
Exactly.
Hold on.
And I emailed...
Wait, stop a second. Okay, so...
Do the math again.
Last year and this year...
18,000 youngsters went through the program.
And how much money is allocated for that?
I don't know the dollar
amount
right now.
Let's say it's...
$2 million.
$2 million. Next year, they project it will be... Or in 2020.
2019.
Okay, for this coming budget.
Uh-huh.
Last year, there were 18,000.
Yep.
This year, they project there will be 8.
For 2019.
10,000 fewer.
10,000 fewer kids will be served by the program.
The money is the same.
The money is the same. So I sent that up the flagpole, that question. Why are 10,000 fewer children going to be served by DARE next year? Sent that to the police chief, the mayor, the CAO, and the communications specialist.
And if they are, why do you need the same money?
I got crickets. Is it
wait, why are you surprised? Right?
Somebody needs to answer that question.
They're 10 points ahead. Somebody will answer that.
No, they're managing my money. That's my money.
Somebody will answer that question, if not after November 6th, certainly the second week of December.
Well, you have to pass the budget by that week of December. You have to pass the budget. Is it that schools don't want to be involved anymore? I mean, if that's it, if schools say, nah, we don't want dare anymore. We can't. We got
And
testing.
if you have more than a 50% reduction in numbers, why do you need the same money?
Yeah, where's the money going to go? That's just one silly example. I obviously haven't read this whole thing yet.
Not that silly an example.
I'm working on it though. Yeah, please. I'm thinking, can somebody help me? And if the money has been reduced, I don't see it.
Lots of people who can help you. It's a question.
Why are they ignoring?
Would you be surprised if
if they gave me a great answer, I wouldn't talk about it. When they ignore me, it makes me scream and yell louder.
Is it beyond your realm of possibility that there's a shush order from the mayor's office to City Hall, right, to everybody?
Oh, absolutely.
So you agree with me?
Oh,
she's 10 points ahead.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I don't like about the budget, because I've been doing this 30 plus years. City councilmen prior to these folks, and years back, they used to have budget meetings for every department. You'd have a SPAR meeting. SPAR people would come in. They'd go over what they needed. You had a public works meeting. They'd come in. The city council would hash out everything they needed. You know the way they do this budget now?
Not a clue.
They have 2 half-day sessions. Let me quote a councilman if I can find it. They do 2 half.
Tell you what, hold the thought.
Oh, it makes
got the news
blood
break,
boil.
traffic and weather and stuff right now. Hold that thought.
Oh.
Once again, we so easily find the morning's common thread.
Oh, boy.
So as you trying to muddle your way through a notebook that's about 18 inches thick.
Yeah.
1017 FM 72334. 1017 FM 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 east and westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
A man shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. Police say the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night. When a vehicle pulled up, someone inside opened fire. The man was struck several times. The investigation continues. A bizarre car crash leaves a Barksdale airman dead. Matt Parker has that.
A Barksdale airman was killed in a car accident Saturday night. Edward Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car accident that ultimately claimed his life. According to state police, Ramos was driving southbound on I-49 when he collided with an overpass bridge rail. A pileup ensued behind his single-car accident. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off of the overpass and was struck by another vehicle. Troopers say that Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time of the wreck. From 1017 FM and 710 Keel, I'm Matt Parker.
A Sunday night shooting leaves a man wounded. According to police, more than 35 shots were fired from multiple guns. At this time, the only injury being reported is to a man who suffered a gunshot wound to his ankle area. Police say there are 2 crime scenes, one on East Jordan, another on East Stoner. Parents of a Benton Elementary School 9-year-old student who say their child was abused by alleged serial predator and teacher Perry Norcross have filed suit against the school system alleging negligence. Legal analyst Tim Mesh says the framework of the suit closely mirrors litigation in the nationwide scandal involving a major religious organization.
These type of lawsuits are modeled after the lawsuits against the Catholic Church for priests abusing children.
Norcross is now accused of abusing 8 children at the school. Shreveport Senator Greg Tarver has some harsh words for Adrian Perkins. He says this is just not the guy to lead our city.
This race is very, very difficult to decide which one is going to lead the city, because let me say it and make it very clear to you so you won't have no doubt in your mind. This city's in trouble, but we need someone who loves the city of Shreveport, who won't be here in the city of Shreveport, who's willing to work and devote their life.
Perkins tells KEEL, I'm not entertaining Greg. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. A survivor of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre is describing the terrifying moment a gunman entered his darkened hiding spot. Barry Werber says the gunman didn't see us. Thank God. 11 people were killed. 6 others were wounded. Halloween, one of the most anticipated nights of the year for youngsters. It can also be one of the most dangerous. Jeff Manasso has that.
Safe Kids Worldwide reports that on average, children amped up on sugar, excited, and distracted are more than twice as likely to be hit by a car on Halloween than on any other night of the year.
First, really basic, drive scary slow.
Chevy Safety's Tricia Morrow says limit phones and other distractions, wear seatbelts, and use safety tech when available, and that masks and driving don't mix.
So if you have a mask as part of your costume, just take it off while you're driving, really making sure that you can focus on the road.
Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Boston Red Sox are the World Series champs. The Sox beat the LA Dodgers 5-1 to take the series in 5 games. LA Dodgers manager Dave Roberts spoke about his team never giving up through the season.
I can't say enough about our ball club, the fight, the compete. All year when it didn't look so good, our guys stuck together, stayed the course, and believed in one another, and put ourselves in a chance to win a championship.
Steve Pearce named the World Series MVP. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
One 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. Okay, so you are in the midst of dissecting the 2019 city budget, which has to be approved before the first of the year, I guess. Is that legit?
December 11th, I think, is the date.
Wow. Okay. So you started to tell me before, you started to say before we went to break that the way they used to do it was
They would have an individual meeting for each department. Like SPAR would have a meeting. They'd bring in all their people, all their budget needs. They'd go over the budget with them. Public Works would come in. Police would come in. Now,
then the heads would all get together and, well, anyway, go ahead.
And they would hash it out, and the city council would be there. Now they have 2 half-day sessions
with everybody,
with the city council, everybody involved in the budget. They're doing it on a week from Friday and the Friday after and the Saturday after that. And
wait. So they take the budget that the mayor's office has proposed, And then they all get together with the city council people and sort of
They hash it
fine-tooth
out.
comb it.
Yeah, they hash it out. They make amendments. They propose amendments.
Okay.
And I got this from a council member last week after I raised some questions.
An anonymous council member?
Right now, let's leave it that way. We can maybe, I don't know.
No hurry.
This person doesn't care if I say his name, but no, we know
Well,
it's
we've
not
narrowed
she.
it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Council has started a bad trend of consolidating meetings into a day and a half. No way to examine or discuss the big budgets in 20 to 30 minutes. Ends up being a formality with a free lunch. Essentially, they just rubber stamp the mayor's budget and pass it on, move it up the chain. And now you got 3 that are terming out, so they don't give a rip.
Jokes aside.
I mean, you hope they do. I think they do.
Jokes about length aside, that notebook is seriously.
It's a 6-inch big notebook.
It's a 6-inch thick binder with.
It's chock full of stuff. Chock full of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you can go page by page and find, and I can
And
go.
it's all numbers on every page. It's not like it's quick reading.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's not freaking Mad Magazine, for God's sake.
No, exactly. And I'll tell you, I sent this question to Ollie Tyler, Alan Crump, Brian Crawford, and Africa Price. This email went to them on October 26th at 10:59 a.m.
Friday?
Is that Friday?
Saturday? I don't know.
Can someone explain why DARE funding is about the same for next year, but we're projecting to teach 10,000 fewer students? That's 11 a.m. Friday
Any chance
morning.
That could be a typo? That they just lost a 1.
If it's a typo, yeah, tell me. It's a typo.
Yeah, they
Oops,
should've.
sorry.
How long would that take? Somebody opens it up,
Yeah.
looks at it, and goes, "Oh man,
it's a typo."
Somebody grab me a pen.
Yeah.
I'll fix the budget.
I don't understand not even answering me, or we'll look into it. Let me look into it.
What's that look on your face, kid? We got
Do
to
you
go.
really think it's a typo? Come on.
I hope it is. I really do. Golly, it's crazy.
639, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Did you miss the conversation with Senator Greg Tarver and what he had to say about mayoral candidate Adrian Perkins? We will replay next. It's too good to not.
Mm-hmm.
What else you thinking about?
John Coubillon's coming up at
the pollster guy.
7:10 this morning. Going to talk about the voter turnout.
Right now, traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Everything's still looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 east and westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM, 710 Keel, Shreveport Security Systems text line. How's that chaw there, Ma?
All right. Don't do that to me.
Shreveport. The bumper music starts playing and you popped a candy in
I
your
did
mouth.
not. It was before the bumper music.
She got herself some plug.
Leave me alone.
Erin Redman McCarty. That's got to be a racial slur. I demand that name be changed.
Really?
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, so it was on was it on Thursday, whatever day it was, that Senator Greg Tarver took out the ad, big ad in the Times, basically explaining in no uncertain terms that Adrian Perkins is a horrible human being and should never be mayor.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He did. So we got Mr. Greg on the phone, and we said, there's a lot of stuff in here. This is you're not playing here.
It's nasty.
This is some rough stuff. Do you think you possibly could have gone too far?
No, it just people kept asking me who I'm going to support. They stopped by my office. They called me on my phone. And I hear he was saying behind the scenes that I was supporting him, but I'm not coming out. So I had to make it clear to my constituents that, and people who I know, people who have asked me, that I'm not supporting him at all.
Your biggest problem with Mr. Perkins?
My biggest problem?
Yes.
Well, number one, he have not voted. He have not participated in the political process. If he's really concerned about the city of Shreveport, I wouldn't own a home in Savannah, Georgia, and pay taxes in Savannah, Georgia. He's not a property taxpayer here in Shreveport. You got to be concerned about this community. You got to participate, and he has not participated. You can play this game all you want to. I was in military. I was in Vietnam, and I came back home and participated. Everybody is military. You can vote today anywhere in America, anywhere out of America today. In my discussion with the cattle register, he have not voted in 11 years. And what really bothered me is when he announced on the 26th, and that was a property tax election for the city of Shreveport on the 28th. He did not vote in that.
You were in his corner then, though. You were supporting him then.
Well, yes, but let me say this to you. I can't follow a person and make him do his civic duty. I assume that this man, he was telling me that he was mailing in his ballot trying to participate.
Mr. Greg, pardon me.
That's not factual.
Pardon me just a second. If you were an original, I think it's accurate to say, an original supporter of Adrian Perkins for mayor going back a few months, maybe longer, did you fail to properly vet the candidate that you once supported?
Well, let me say this to you. You usually take people at their word, okay? You don't go check the ballots all the time when you say you're going to support a candidate. You say, hold up, let me call the cattle register, let me check your ballot. You don't do things like that, okay? You assume take a man at his word. And that's the mistake I made. I did. Yes, I made a mistake. I thought he was capable of being the mayor of the city of Shreveport. Now I see that he really don't care about the city of Shreveport, and he just come from leaving college, coming here, running for mayor, and have not even voted in the city in 11 years. Don't own a home. Yeah, I can. If he wanted to buy a home, why didn't he buy a home in the city of Shreveport? If you love Shreveport as much as you say you do.
The elephant in the room is that he and your daughter were in a relationship, and when that ended, your support for him ended. Can you explain that? Is there any truth to that at all?
None whatsoever.
He never dated your daughter.
Yes, he did. But let me say this to you. My daughter in high school and in college dated many people. You know, that's our prerogative. That has nothing to do, have you voted or have not voted. That has nothing to do but by your responsibility. You know, what that's got to do with how many cows in Texas. It doesn't matter how many cows in Texas. Would
you have taken this ad out if he was still dating your daughter?
Let me say this to you. Yes, I would, because he lied to me. And if he lied about one thing, what else he have not lied? What else he lied about? Let me tell you how I look at voting, and let me tell you how I look at this thing. I would not let a man that I did not know in my house. This man been away from us 15 or 16 years. We don't know anything about this guy. We really don't know anything about this guy. We only know what have been told to us by him.
Mr. Gregg, this is not your first political rodeo, to say the least. It's hard to pull the wool over Greg Tarver's eyes. Is that what happened?
Let me say this to you. It happens to all of us. It's happened to you many times. It's going to happen to me probably again, because sometimes you take people at their word and you find out later that was not true. And once I find out it's not true, I go back to that individual and I tell them that.
I don't want to make this overly. Did he hurt your feelings in all of this? Do you feel disappointed by him?
Yes, I feel disappointed that I was supporting a candidate that I thought they really cared about the city of Shreveport, that a candidate that have participated in voting. Yes, I feel let down. And let me say this to you. He ought to feel let down himself. And the people of Shreveport ought to feel let down. A man who's been overseas, came from Harvard, went in school, got a degree, and have not voted. What is that saying to our young people today?
Basically,
that you can run for mayor and not vote?
Like I said at the beginning of our conversation, this is some rough stuff. You're basically calling Adrian Perkins a political carpetbagger, right?
Well, no, I'm calling him a lie.
That's even stronger.
Lied to me. He lied to different other people in this city. And he's still lying about different things. And he's hiding something, and I don't know what it is.
Let me ask you about that, because a lot of people are talking about him and his disability, and he's not talking about that. Can you shed any light on that? Because I'm hearing the rumors. I know you've heard it. Do you know what his disability is from the military?
No, I do not know his disability, but I'm saying to you that he ought to tell people his disability. He don't look like he's physically anything wrong with him physically. To me, he don't seem like that. I want to know what's wrong also.
PTSD? Have you heard PTSD or anything?
You don't have any secrets in this political game. I don't have any secrets in this political game. I don't have a closet with skeletons. My closet been on the front page of the paper. You don't have any secrets in this game. The people need to know everything about you if you're going to represent the city of Shreveport.
Mr. Gregg, let's get off of Mr. Perkins for a second or two. As far as the other candidates are concerned, you've been you've laid low so far. We know who you're not going to support. Who are you going to get behind?
Let me say this to you. Right now, I have not made up my mind. I have been silent because I'm not supporting anyone right now.
You're going to vote, right?
Oh, yes. I don't miss too many votes. I just have not made up my mind.
What is going to be the deciding factor for Greg Tarver when you go to the polls November 6th?
Barely a week out.
Are you going to vote early?
I might vote early, but I doubt it very seriously. After the 6th, I'm getting ready to go to Africa, my wife and I, because we do work over in Africa. On the 8th, we're leaving on the 8th, so I'm going to make up my mind between 9 and 6, but I have not made up my mind yet, and I'm still looking at the candidates and what they can do for the city of Shreveport. Let me say this to you. We need someone in this race. Shreveport seems like if it continues this way where it's going to be a Detroit in 5 or 7 years from now. We got to do something about bringing industry in here. We got to do something about the infrastructure.
So it sounds like you're not voting for Ollie Tyler.
So now we've eliminated two. There's 3 to go.
I think Mrs. Tyler is one of the finest leaders I've ever met. I've been knowing her a long time, a very long time. She's a very fine lady.
But did we lose him?
No, I don't.
No, I'm here.
Okay,
I'm right here.
I'm waiting for your butt. She's a fine leader, but
yeah, no, ain't no but. She's just a fine lady. I just have not made up my mind who I'm going to support and who I'm going to vote for.
Could Greg Tarver vote for a Republican?
Let me tell you, I'm going to vote for the best person that I think that can do the job in the city of Shreveport.
Any chance that is there any chance you'll be endorsing a candidate post-election, between the election and the runoff?
Maybe.
Have you met with them all? Have you met with them all, sat down? Have you sat down and talked to them?
Well, I've talked to all of them. No, not all of them. I've talked to about so many of them, about 60% of them or 70% of them.
So,
and they sound like good people. They are good people.
So I don't think I've ever heard you tell me you were undecided this late in a campaign. Is this an oddity for Greg Tarver?
Well, let me say this to you. You've never heard me. You're hearing it this time. Let me tell you something. This race is very, very difficult to decide which one is going to lead the city, because let me say it and make it very clear to you so you won't have no doubt in your mind. This city's in trouble. But we need someone who loves the city of Shreveport, who will be here in the city of Shreveport, who's willing to work and devote their life.
It's a tough one, isn't it?
Very tough. One of the most tough decisions I've ever made in my life.
1017 FM 710 Keel Monday morning traffic. Rubens here.
Starting things off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on North Market just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
.117 FM and 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Okay, so you got a couple of well, wait a second.
I got bumped.
Based on the Tarver interview that you just heard from Friday morning, before the show ended, you had gotten a text from Adrian Perkins, right?
Yeah, yes.
So would you read that again for us, his response to the Tarver offensive?
Let me pull it up. I had 100 texts since then.
What?
Hang on.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, let me find it.
All right.
Okay. I'm not entertaining Greg.
This is Adrian on Friday morning at about 8:55, right?
Yeah, and this is directly quoted in the Times this weekend because they did a piece on this, and they directly, I guess Adrian didn't call them back, so they quote this text to me verbatim in the paper. I'm not entertaining Greg. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. Since his interview, I've actually had someone contact me about picking up a check because now they're convinced he's not supporting me. Enjoy your weekend.
Got to go right.
By the way,
yeah.
Mr. Tarver resides outside the city limits. I don't know if he has a home in the city which he can vote from.
Talked about voting.
But I got a lot of texts saying he can't even vote in the mayor's race, so why is he talking about voting?
6:57, here's Rush on Keel.
Sideways for students at the Rocky Top Middle School in Thornton, Colorado. One of the featured speakers was Jessica Lahore, L''WHOR, a dancer and performance artist. Actually, Jessica Lahore is a drag queen. Lahore explained to the middle school students that he is a man but portrays a woman in performances. Lahore asked that they call him Ms. Jessica, because using Lahore around the children he wanted to influence would be inappropriate, you see. Parents were not informed that their children would be getting career advice from a drag queen. When word got out, many of the parents were outraged, but not all. So the principal sent out a letter apologizing for not letting parents know in advance, but the principal defended inviting Lahore because doing so was inclusive and promoted diversity. After all, to liberals, there's nothing more important for kids to learn in middle school than diversity and politically correct gender-bender brainwashing, being instructed in all of it by a drag queen.
1017 FM and 710 Keel. Your home for the newsmakers and all the big stories.
This is Jim Donlin, your Commissioner of Insurance, on the air with Bob and Erin, the most fun on Louisiana radio anywhere.
We are Keel. 1017 FM and 710 Keel.
Starting to see some backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.
Just a little bit past 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 1017 FM and 710 Keel. And down yonder, Erin has local news up next.
A man shot and killed in the MLK area. We'll have more on that. More charges against a Benton elementary teacher and a lawsuit filed. And we'll hear from Drew Brees on a big win.
Okay, so John Couvillon is a pollster from down around Baton Rouge way. And he's going to talk to us again in just a couple of seconds about the mayor's race. What new information does he have?
Voter turnout is his big subject today.
And voter turnout. Plus Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
A man shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. According to police, the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night when a vehicle pulled up. Someone inside opened fire. The man was struck multiple times. Investigators still searching for clues. Investigation going on in Bossier City this morning, too, at the Margaritaville Casino. We don't have many details right now. All we do know is that a man apparently locked himself in a room with a manager. They're investigating that case still. A Barksdale airman was killed in a car accident Saturday night. Eduardo Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car crash that ultimately claimed his life. State police say Ramos was driving south on I-49 when he collided with an overpass bridge railing. A pileup ensued behind his single-car crash. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off the overpass and was struck by another car. State troopers say Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time. More charges and a lawsuit filed against a Benton elementary teacher. Matt Parker has that.
An investigation has led to more charges against Aubrey Norcross. The Benton Elementary School teacher is now accused of abusing 8 children at the school. The PE teacher is charged with rape, molestation, and video voyeurism. The parents of one of the children have filed suit against the teacher and Bossier Parish Schools, claiming the school system failed to do their job and provide a safe environment. The suit says that the 9-year-old girl was a victim of despicable acts that took place during the school day. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Today and tomorrow, the last days to vote early. Amendment 4 on the ballot lets you decide whether or not gas tax money should be allowed to fund state police instead of being solely dedicated to infrastructure. President of Louisiana Good Roads, Ken Parrott, says people he's talked to have been shocked to find out where this money's gone in the past.
They think it's going just for infrastructure improvements for roads and bridges, but the Constitution as it now allows some diversion, and past administrations have used that to supplement the budget.
Now, since the start of the Edwards administration, the state has stopped using gas tax dollars to plug other holes in the budget and reserve that money for infrastructure. Louisiana had 771 highway deaths last year, up from 2016. Executive Director of the Highway Safety Commission, Lisa Freeman, says the state has work to be done.
We have work still to do in the way of legislation, education, and enforcement on issues that relate to these fatality rates.
Alcohol contributed to many of the fatal wrecks. A Lion airplane crashed into the Java Sea Monday. There were 189 people on board. The flight requested to turn back to the airport shortly after taking off in Jakarta. It crashed 13 minutes into the flight. The Saints beat the Vikings in Minneapolis 30-20. Drew Brees says considering what happened last year, this win meant a little more than the others.
They create the environment that we always talk about with the Superdome, and the Who Dat Nation in our venue. So yeah, they do a good job with that. It just makes you have to be really on point, with your communication in and out of the huddle, getting set and just getting the ball snapped and making sure everybody's on the same page.
Sunday, the Saints take on the undefeated Rams in a game that will have huge ramifications for playoff seeding. A Greyhound bus driver needs a GPS lesson. Seems the guy got lost in Cleveland en route to New York and spent several hours driving around Cleveland trying to find his way out of the city. He finally pulled into New York 4.5 hours late. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
10 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic for Monday. Ruben's ready.
Still keeping a close eye on that backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 12 after 7 o'clock. Don't forget about the Shreveport Security Systems text line, 318-392-1884. Mr. John Cuvion is president, CEO, head guy in charge at GMC Enterprises, polling, etc. Hey, Mr. John, welcome back to Keel. Thanks for taking time for us.
It's good to be here this morning.
So, before we get down to voter turnout and kind of, is there anything new behind the curtain? Any new Shreveport numbers that are kind of secret you can tell us about, or am I just shooting in the dark here?
Shooting in the dark.
Rats. Nobody's called you on the phone after your last appearance, after your last poll, and said, you did such a great job. We want to hire you again to get us new, more up-to-date numbers. Nothing at all?
Well, I'll tell you, it would be interesting to see how the race is evolving at this point. But no, nothing as of yet.
The Kennedy poll showed that
Ollie at 35.
The two Republicans could not beat her if they made it into a runoff. That the only person that could beat her was Adrian Perkins. Do you agree with that?
I'll just say this. The challenge that any Republican has running in the city of Shreveport is that you're talking about a black electorate that's about 50%. So if you want to be able to win, that does mean you have to get black crossover votes.
So basically, like I said to Mr. Kennedy last week, if the numbers hold true and Ollie's number 1, Savage and Talaferro 2, 3, 3, 2, and Perkins number 3, suddenly
number 4.
4 rather, sorry. Suddenly Adrian Perkins becomes a very important person, doesn't he?
If he were within the statistical range of making the runoff, yes, because in the hypothetical situation you described, what becomes interesting then is that the white vote becomes the vote worth getting, because the blacks would presumably split down the middle, and all of a sudden who would get the majority of the white/conservative vote would be the one who wins the runoff, if you were talking about a scenario with 2 black Democrats.
Okay. Early voting, 2 more days, today and tomorrow. Secretary of State's reporting over 140,000 people have voted. I think that was as of Thursday night. What does that number tell you?
So what the number, and by the way, I have updated numbers as of last night, 215,000. And let me put you this way, very rarely am I impressed by early voting numbers, but for a statewide election where midterm election, rather, where you've not had a Senate race on the ballot since 2006, the fact that you have 215,000 who've early voted already, and by the way, I looked at the numbers in Caddo and Bossier, they also are pretty strong as well. To put 215,000 in perspective, and that's after 5 days, that is the 8th highest early vote ever, and that's still not even counting Monday and Tuesday early voting. I think there's a very real possibility that by the time early voting's finished Tuesday night, there's going to be 1 or 2 records that will be broken. The one record I think definitely be broken will be the percent of people who cast their votes early. I think it could be around 30%. The other vote record that I think could be broken for non-presidential elections, theoretically this election we could be outvoting those who voted for early voted for governor or Senate, which to me is pretty impressive for something where the Secretary of State's office is at the top of the ballot.
Let me ask you this. The early voting also helps you guys project turnout. The Secretary of State
Yes.
saying that it could be as high as 35% voter turnout. You agree?
I think it could be 40.
Really?
Yes. I have a model that I've been running every day after I get each new set of early voting numbers in. And, you know, it's kind of funny. In the beginning, I actually had a back and forth with a reporter back in Baton Rouge who was questioning my sanity for saying there was even going to be 30% voter turnout. But the early voting numbers are so strong, I think that a 35 or even a 40% turnout is a possibility. The key will be how strong it finishes today and tomorrow. Historically, for Tuesday elections, you do have an uptick because, of course, procrastinators realize, hey, I got 2 days left to early vote. I better go do it. So there's a very real possibility you could see 300,000 people early voting at the close of Tuesday night.
John, it's sort of the assumption that early voting favors Democrats, at least nationwide. Does that hold true for Louisiana in your mind?
To be honest with you, it depends on the election, and I'll tell you why. Just to give you a couple of examples, in the Senate runoff, the one where Foster Campbell faced John Kennedy, you had a very weak Democratic turnout with 21% black statewide. In the Mary Landrieu race, she did an excellent job of getting black early vote out. It was 31% black. So it really just depends on the election and or the candidate. I think that kind of conventional wisdom that you just mentioned was born out of the 2008 Obama presidency, where he and his organizers did an excellent job of getting Democrats out to the polls that year. And in several states, McCain actually carried the election day vote while losing the early vote so heavily, and I'm thinking about Iowa and Colorado, to use 2 examples, that the early vote very much mattered back then.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you can hone in on Shreveport or not, but you say statewide turnout you projecting could be 40%. What about here in our mayor's race? Could we get close to 50%?
It's possible because, just to give you an example, I see this election as being analogous to the 2016 Senate runoff. So as of Saturday night, 7,800 people in Caddo Parish have early voted. And in the entire Senate runoff, 7,200 early voted. So you could easily see a situation where turnout is 20 to 30% higher than it was in the Senate race. And by the way, Bossier is similarly seeing strong early voting numbers. I think some of that is what's going on is attributable to the fallout from the Kavanaugh hearings.
John, nationwide, the big story is, can the Dems take the House? Can the Democrats take back the House of Representatives? In this part of the state, there's not really a lot of the House seats aren't really up for grabs. Are there any hotly contested House seats elsewhere across the state we should be looking at?
The only one that, to me, that really closely, that even remotely qualifies as worth watching is the one down in southwest Louisiana, where incumbent Clay Higgins has quite a few opponents, a couple of whom have money to spend. The thing that is saving him, though, is that he has President Trump's enthusiastic support, and he hasn't done anything especially wrong. But that would be the only race where there's a remote possibility of there being a December runoff.
Any polling on the future for you in our mayor's race? Or are you kind of done for now?
Well, the way I look at it is if there are willing and able parties who have a checkbook, I'm always willing to entertain all options.
Thank you, John. John Cuvion, appreciate your time this morning.
Yes.
19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic update right now. Ruben's ready.
Still keeping a close eye on that backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Swan Lake Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel Sports Time.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Minnesota was driving late in the second quarter, up 13-10 over the Saints, when Alex Anzalone popped the ball loose from Adam Thielen. Marshawn Lattimore scooped it up and raced to the Minnesota 33-yard line. A 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty set the Saints up in great shape. 2 plays later, Alvin Kamara cashed in from the 1-yard line to give the Saints a 17-13 lead. After a Will Lutz field goal to make it 20-13 in the third quarter, P.J. Williams was able to quieten the U.S. Bank Stadium crowd with a 45-yard pick six to push New Orleans up 27-13. The Saints go on to win 30-20, and they're now 6-1, and they will host the 8-0 Rams next Sunday. Steve Pearce cranked a 2-run home run in the first and added a solo shot in the eighth to back David Price's 7 strong innings on the mound in the Red Sox World Series clinching 5-1 win over the Dodgers. Pearce was named the World Series MVP for his 3-homer, 8 RBI performance that helped generate Boston's 4th title in 15 years. Calvary alum and former LSU Tiger All-American Sam Burns birdied 3 of his final 5 holes to finish tied for 3rd in the Sanderson Farms Championship on the PGA Tour. It's his first top 3 finish. He pockets $255,200 for his weekend effort. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Okay, so political analyst Royal Alexander joins us just after 8 o'clock this morning to talk about the proposed constitutional amendments, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Parky, which one is the fantasy sports? Is that number 2?
I think so.
Do you support an amendment? No, that's the grand jury, the unanimous jury. An amendment to, doesn't matter which one it is, that for now. There is an amendment that we will be voting on for the Constitution, for the that would legalize fantasy sports betting.
I think the way it's worded is that we could legalize it in Caddo.
Oh, it's
and
parish by parish.
Illegal in Bossier.
It's parish by parish. That's my point.
So how would Matt participate? He lives in Bossier.
Yeah.
If he wants to participate, he'd have to live in a
Okay.
parish where it was legal, or participate in a game that originates in Caddo.
No, it wouldn't. No. We're talking about websites like FanDuel and those.
This also covers like your personal fantasy football league.
So could he participate while he's in Caddo Parish, though he's a resident of Bossier?
The purpose.
I'm confused.
Stop a second. This has really nothing to do with the office pool or the
No, I know, but can he log on to FanDuel as a resident of Bossier Parish?
If it's illegal in Bossier, that's what I wanted to talk about.
Mhm.
Right now, the state of Louisiana has internet fencing up. Do I understand that correctly?
Geofencing, yes. Like, we can't
Pardon me a sec. Remember we had that big meeting about a year ago?
Yeah, I'm familiar
when
with
our
this.
company
Yeah.
is starting to do our
Sure.
geofencing for specific clients.
Yeah, so if we drive to Tyler right now, as soon as we cross the state line, we can start betting on sports left and right because there's no geofence on the area.
Fantasy sports websites like FanDuel.
So the moment your phone leaves Bossier Parish, say it's illegal
No.
there.
Right now, because it's illegal in Louisiana.
You're missing my point.
No, I understand.
Say it's legal in Caddo.
Mhm.
So the moment you drive over the Red River Bridge into Shreveport, you would be able to start using it on your phone?
In
Now,
theory.
But you're missing the point. When all this happens on November 6th,
What a mess.
Louisiana's geofencing, the state geofencing, if one parish votes yes, the geofencing comes down, which means what? That each individual parish where they vote no will have to do its own geofencing.
Is that what it means, or will the state do it?
No. Each individual parish, the parish voted no. The state's not going to set up geofencing for each individual parish across the state.
Are you sure about that?
My question is, what's the cost to Caddo Parish if Caddo votes no? What's the cost to Caddo Parish to block, as the state does now? Matt, what do you know about that? Anything?
I have no idea. From what I read, it sounds like it will fall on the shoulders of the parish, but I'm not 100% certain on that. But somebody's going to have to foot the bill, and it ain't cheap.
And I wonder what that cost is to block. So if theoretically, back to your original idea, if Caddo votes no and Bossier votes yes, or if Bossier votes yes and Caddo votes no, the point being is, if a parish votes no, somebody's going to have to set up the geofencing to keep people in the boundaries of that parish from going to those specific sports fantasy websites.
Did not know that.
I just looked up average cost of geofencing. There's a company that says, depending on the size of the area, it can run you between $50K and $150K. So I would imagine an entire parish would be the upper end of that scale, not the lower end.
28 past 7 o'clock, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Somebody in the studio, and it ain't this guy because my IQ is only 85 and I get bored easy. But somebody in the studio is dissecting bit by bit, page by page, the proposed budget for the city of Shreveport.
Oh, my.
And did you guess who it is, by the way? We will take a look at that in just about 10 minutes. Traffic update coming up. Yeah, let's do it now. Traffic update coming up right now. Here comes Ruben, and he's on KEEL.
We have reports of a minor accident on Line Avenue near Eden Boulevard, and we're still looking at some heavy backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
information. KEEL News now.
A man shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. Police say the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night. When a vehicle pulled up, someone inside opened fire. The man was struck several times. The investigation continues. A bizarre car crash leaves a Barksdale airman dead. Matt Parker has that.
A Barksdale airman was killed in a car accident Saturday night. Edward Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car accident that ultimately claimed his life. According to state police, Ramos was driving southbound on I-49 when he collided with an overpass bridge rail. A pileup ensued behind his single-car accident. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off of the overpass and was struck by another vehicle. Troopers say that Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time of the wreck. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A Sunday night shooting leaves a man wounded. According to police, more than 35 shots were fired from multiple guns. At this time, the only injury being reported is to a man who suffered a gunshot wound to his ankle area. Police say there are 2 crime scenes, one on East Jordan, another on East Stoner. Parents of a Benton Elementary School 9-year-old student who say their child was abused by alleged serial predator and teacher Perry Norcross have filed suit against the school system, alleging negligence. Legal analyst Tim Mesh says the framework of the suit closely mirrors litigation in the nationwide scandal involving a major religious organization.
These type of lawsuits are modeled after the lawsuits against the Catholic Church for priests abusing children.
Norcross is now accused of abusing 8 children at the school. Shreveport Senator Greg Tarver has some harsh words for Adrian Perkins. He says this is just not the guy to lead our city.
This race is very, very difficult to decide which one is going to lead the city, because let me say it and make it very clear to you so you won't have no doubt in your mind. This city's in trouble, but we need someone who loves the city of Shreveport, who will be here in the city of Shreveport, who's willing to work and devote their life.
Perkins tells KEEL, I'm not entertaining Greg. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. A survivor of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre is describing the terrifying moment a gunman entered his darkened hiding spot. Barry Werber says the gunman didn't see us. Thank God. 11 people were killed. 6 others were wounded. Halloween, one of the most anticipated nights of the year for youngsters. It can also be one of the most dangerous. Jeff Manasso has that.
Safe Kids Worldwide reports that on average, children amped up on sugar, excited, and distracted are more than twice as likely to be hit by a car on Halloween than on any other night of the year.
First, really basic. Drive scary slow.
Chevy Safety's Tricia Morrow says limit phones and other distractions, wear seatbelts, and use safety tech when available, and that masks and driving don't mix.
So if you have a mask as part of your costume, just take it off while you're driving, really making sure that you can focus on the road.
Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Boston Red Sox are the World Series champs. The Sox beat the L.A. Dodgers 5-1 to take the series in 5 games. L.A. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts spoke about his team never giving up through the season.
I can't say enough about our ball club, the fight, the compete. All year when it didn't look so good, our guys stuck together, stayed the course, and believed in one another, and put ourselves in a chance to win a championship.
Steve Pearce named the World Series MVP. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Oh, the queen of rhythm down there. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. Okay, so we're talking about geofencing and fantasy sports, legalizing fantasy sports, rather.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a text. You found an article that was previously put together by Ronnie Jones, who is chairman of...
he was just quoted on the article.
Chairman of the State Gaming Control Board.
Mhm.
What does he say?
He says geofencing will be the most complex issue regarding fantasy sports. There are 64 parishes in Louisiana. Say only a quarter of them vote yes on this referendum. Can you imagine how complicated that will be to carve out individual parishes? Nobody is talking about what it might cost to implement geofencing.
No, not nobody. This guy.
Well, we just started.
Yeah.
First I've heard of it.
Really?
He's joining. Yes.
Greg's been talking about it a lot in the afternoons.
Yeah.
He's joining us tomorrow morning. 6:40 we'll have it. We'll probably replay it in the 8 o'clock hour.
Excellent. But I don't know what I mean, normally, see, we as a company, one of our advertising, one of the things we offer is specific geofencing. Explain to people, if you don't know what that is, explain it to us in the context of how we do it.
Well, let's just say, hypothetically, a business, Erin's Bait Shop, wants to advertise to a specific audience, like people in...
Excuse me a second. Did you say bake or bait?
Bait.
Bait.
Okay.
So,
Erin has crickets.
So Erin wants to sell her crickets to the fine folks of Blanchard. So
Right.
a lot of the way the geofencing works is they send it only to the people in the zip code that covers Blanchard. This would be keeping people out.
So this
as
is
opposed to
literally the opposite of that. Instead of having a gateway in, you're putting a fence up.
Yeah.
So
one of the questions for Ronnie is, why is this being done parish by parish? Why will the constitutional amendment, the way it is being offered up to the people of the state,
why wasn't it a statewide deal?
why is it parish
just
by
simpler.
parish? Yeah.
It's much simpler that way.
Isn't all the gambling stuff, when they do it, parish by parish, because the way it's written to begin with, which is
That's
just
how
ridiculous?
we did the riverboats. Yeah, that's how we did the riverboats. Was did your parish want it or not?
There you go.
Some voted it down.
We talk about this all the time. The state as a whole overcomplicates so many issues. Instead, if Robert doesn't want to, gamble on sports, then don't gamble on sports. We don't need to do this complicated stuff that costs us money and business, and it's just crazy.
Look, we've talked about this 1,000 times. When they expanded, what are they called? The amphibious casinos. The amphibian casinos where you can go 1,200 feet now from the boat onto land. And when they did that, they not only increased the potential square footage of the expanded casinos, but the number of gambling positions. And it's, God, I can't think of the number. It's like 2,250, 2,632. No, wait.
No, wait. They didn't.
That's the Cal Ripken streak.
Don't mix it up, because they'll say, no, it's not really more space. It's more gambling positions.
That's what I just said.
You said more space.
Well,
more square footage.
No, they also expanded the.
No, they fight you over that. They say not really.
Well,
it's not really.
If you're keeping the boat and you're going on the land, you're going to have bigger casinos. Hence, you are going to have more gaming positions. My question about all that was in reference to Matt saying we make it so complicated, and I forget what the exact number of legal gaming positions is, but let's for the moment say it's 2,632, the exact same number as the Cal Ripken consecutive game streak. Why is 2,632 okay and 2,633 is bad?
Because somebody picked a number.
That's the whole point. How did they come up with that number, and why is one number okay, and why did certain factions of the anti-gambling / anti-gaming community compromise on this number and not one more or one less? Or why didn't they just say, you know what, you can have as many gaming positions as your casino can hold?
Knock yourself out, yeah.
739, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. What do you know about the city budget? Erin knows more than us.
Oh, boy.
She'll talk about it next. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Intersection at Highland Avenue and Olive Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still looking at that backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin. What?
My head's about to explode
Why?
over this budget.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a couple of seconds.
Oh, my goodness. Let me read this to you.
Okay, we'll get to this
okay.
now.
Projected revenues, $213 million.
Pardon me. I don't mean to slow down your explosion, the UXB, that is your cranium. But explain to everybody, unexploded bomb, explain to everybody why you have the notebook, the hard copy of the Shreveport City budget for 2019 and the process by which the actual budget down the line will be determined.
Well, the budget has to be approved by December 11th. And they start right now having, meetings, and the public can comment on November 13th, I think is the date. But I typically go over the budget online, look at it online. And then I got to talking to some city council members, and I said, have you seen your budget yet? No, they've got it at the city council office. Got to pick it up. So I said something to Stephanie Lynch the other day about, have you picked up your budget? She said, I'm not picking up that beep. I said, you're not even going to pick up your
that beep?
Something like that. And
well, you're kind of quoting poor Stephanie here. Did she?
I don't know if that word was used. It could have been. Okay. She's used the word
once or twice
in a city council meeting. In fact, she did.
Yeah.
I said, well, I'll go pick up yours. If that's okay. She goes, yeah, you can have mine. No problem.
Can I wander around the desk? Can I bring? I have not held your notebook.
Come hold it. Yeah.
Okay. And I want to.
Don't lose this page though.
Hold on. Okay.
This page I need to read from. It's a monster. It's 6 inches thick.
Oh my God!
At least 6 inches thick. It's got capital projects. It's got SPAR. It's got public works. It's got everything. It's a heavy duty thing, and I've been lugging that baby around for the past 5 days.
Let me give you a frame of reference. The notebook, which is about 6 to 7, maybe 8 inches thick.
Mm-hmm.
And to give you a frame of reference, I just took it from Erin, came down here, sat down, and set it down in my lap a little too hard.
You pulled a muscle, huh?
It really is a big book. Ta-da! I'll be fine. Call my urologist. So anyway, back to the process.
Yeah, it is one of those things. They used to have meetings on each department. Like they'd have a meeting on SPAR, they'd have a meeting on blah, they'd have a meeting. I'm going to let you read from that since you've got it.
No.
Because I'm going to show you what I want you to read. I'll tell you what I want you to read from.
Already.
Now they're just having two kind of one full day, another half day big budget sessions where they're going to hash it out.
So the way that probably 99.99% of private businesses do their annual budgeting is not the way the city does the budgeting.
Oh, no. The city does the budget. It starts from the departments up. The department heads present their budget to the mayor and to the financial people, and then the mayor and the financial people go over them and put together what they view will be the budget, and then they put it in this big package, and then they go to the city council with it.
You know, if you lop off the zeros, it's really not that different from anybody else's budget, except...
On that page on the right, I want you to see there's a paragraph that says projected revenues.
Okay.
In about the middle of the page, projected revenues. Don't read anything else. No, don't read it.
Really?
Read projected revenues.
Okay. Projected revenues, $213,985,400.
Stop there. One paragraph down. Projected expenditures.
$218 million. Wait a minute.
Enough said.
Hold on.
213?
Projected revenues, $213,985,000.
Mm-hmm.
Projected expenditures, $218,940,000.
Can't do it.
It's like $5 million in the
hole.
In the red.
It's taking money from reserves. And the bottom line about reserve fund, read that.
Projected operating reserves. What is that?
That's your rainy day fund. If you have a major, let's say your city has a major flood, and you have to spend extra money on things that you didn't anticipate, you can dip into that rainy day fund.
Let's say somebody in the city's roads department accidentally runs over somebody's toe with a steamroller.
Yes, let's say a garbage truck kills a guy. Let's say somebody in the Haven decides to sue you over their water bills, and you need to pay them $1 million or whatever.
That comes out of that?
Well, you have a risk management fund, but If that runs out, then guess what? You got to dip into reserves.
Projected operating reserves.
Oh, God.
$3 million. Now, this is.
Robert, this makes me cringe.
$3,322,900. Now, why is this cringeworthy?
Because what's not in that sentence is the percentage. That's under 1% of the budget. Projected reserves for a city should be in the neighborhood of 5 to 7%. This year, our reserves were $4.6 million in that neighborhood,
which was down,
which was 2%, which was really low. Now we're going to $3.3 million in reserves. That is inadequate, and to me, that is irresponsible. But again, read those projected revenues again. I just love to see that.
The 2019 general budget, blah, 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 projected revenues, $213 million.
And expenditures?
$218 million.
Why are we doing that?
Projected revenues, $213,985,000, a 2% increase. Projected expenditures, $218,947,000, a 1% increase.
And just some examples, because I haven't read the whole budget, mind you, it is pretty thick. But I've read some hunks of it. And one example I'll give you that really just blisters my big toe is, and you know my big toe doesn't blister easy.
That's the 11th one, by the way. Yeah.
Is that the DARE program? Let's just use that as an example. The DARE program, this year and last year, we had 18,000 youngsters go through that program. This year, based on the numbers in that budget, it shows the same amount of money, about the same amount of money, and 8,000 children. So 10,000 fewer children will be served with the same amount of money.
Wait.
Did you hear me?
18,000 this year for figure X.
Yeah.
Next year, a projected 8,000, more than a 50% decrease, but the
money's the same.
Money is the same.
Is that a typo?
So what have you done about this?
I sent an email to the mayor, the CAO, city council members, the police chief for an explanation. Is it a typo? Is it a goof? What's going on? What's happening with DARE?
Did we leave out a 1, perhaps?
Yeah. Crickets.
Yeah. Well,
crickets.
It is a week before an election.
It is a week before the election.
It is.
I guess I'm being ignored.
Don't plan on anybody rushing to the phone to call you back.
Yeah, but you tell them what happens when I get ignored.
It's not pretty.
Testify, brother.
It's look, we got to go to break, okay? And somebody's going to have to come help me get this thing off my lap.
I get blisters on other body parts when I get ignored.
749, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Ruben.
Intersection at Highland Avenue and Olive Street's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still looking at that backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Here's your Keel Weather Channel forecast. Kind of sunny today. Another beauty, high near 80. Right now, 57. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 750. Here's your money now. 1017 FM, 710 Keel, Monday Morning Sports.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Minnesota was driving late in the second quarter, up 13-10 over the Saints, when Alex Anzalone popped the ball loose from Adam Thielen. Marshawn Lattimore scooped it up and raced to the Minnesota 33-yard line. A 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty set the Saints up in great shape. 2 plays later, Alvin Kamara cashed in from the 1-yard line to give the Saints a 17-13 lead. After a Will Lutz field goal to make it 20-13 in the third quarter, P.J. Williams was able to quieten the U.S. Bank Stadium crowd with a 45-yard pick six to push New Orleans up 27-13. The Saints go on to win 30-20, and they're now 6-1, and they will host the 8-0 Rams next Sunday. Steve Pearce cranked a 2-run home run in the first and added a solo shot in the eighth to back David Price's 7 strong innings on the mound in the Red Sox World Series clinching 5-1 win over the Dodgers. Pearce was named the World Series MVP for his 3-homer, 8 RBI performance that helped generate Boston's 4th title in 15 years. Calvary alum and former LSU Tiger All-American Sam Burns birdied 3 of his final 5 holes to finish tied for 3rd in the Sanderson Farms Championship on the PGA Tour. It's his first top 3 finish. He pockets $255,200 for his weekend effort. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Just a quick reminder, Keel presents Your Money Now from Fox, brought to us every morning by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. .1017 FM and 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, political pundit, analyst. Royal Alexander joins us just after 8 o'clock talking about the amendments to this year's Constitution. Well, it's the same Constitution. Why do we have so many amendments?
This is few. Sometimes we've had 12.
I know.
What do we have, 6 this time?
But how many are there total?
I think there's 6. I don't know.
No. In the Louisiana Constitution.
20 zillion?
How many amendments are there? Just Google that real quick.
Matt, Google that because I'm on another page.
I mean,
I do want to read. I do want to read something to you. By the way,
go ahead. What you got?
From one of our listeners, a loyal listener. Now you just gave them the heads up on the budget. Think they're listening? I'm grateful for you guys perusing our city's budget accountability.
Okay, well, let's clear that up. First of all, it's not you guys. It's not.
Well, she didn't say you guys either. She didn't say you guys. She said your, but I was just giving you credit.
It's not me. It's not Matt. It's the
me.
one who had a little free time because there was no LSU football this weekend.
Man.
And trust me on this, if she doesn't knock it out by Saturday, it ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen. You're right.
LSU, the largest underdog at home, 14.5 plus 14.5. What did you just find?
All right, this is the 9th Constitution in Louisiana history.
We need a 10th.
Hold on. The current Constitution has been amended 300 times.
Of course.
On our 9th one.
This is like genders on Facebook. You know?
Yeah.
Why do we have 300 amendments to the Constitution? Because 301's... You get the
I know. That's just nutty.
Just scrolling through, it looks like our amendment has been the most amended in the... other than Texas. Texas has a speed. It's been amended 498 times, but they're only on number 4.
Oh, my goodness. Jeez.
We'll talk
we
about
need 6 more.
We'll talk about LSU in the 8 o'clock hour.
Oh,
the greatest They had the greatest point spread for LSU at home. They're the largest underdog at home since 1999. 7:57. Here's Sean Hannity on Keel.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
There's this idiot on fake news CNN, John Avlon, somebody who's taken cheap shots at me a number of times over the years, blaming me because De Niro got one of these packages. Imagine him talking about the president wanting to punch the president in the face. You would think CNN would agree with me that that's incendiary rhetoric, or those that want to dream of blowing up the White House. You know, this is so close to slander. This is right there on the line. And I have my lawyers looking at it right now because I am not, it's so over the top. You would think that John Avlon would join me in saying Robert De Niro's incendiary rhetoric of wanting to punch the president is a threat to the president of the United States. And frankly, that's something I think the Secret Service should have looked into. But I have a history of saying we ought to protect all our presidents.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, if you or a loved one struggles with leg or foot cramps, you've got to try TheraWorks Relief. Now, this non-greasy foam is proven to relieve muscle cramps fast, and with daily use, TheraWorks Relief can prevent muscle cramps, so that means you can get a full night's sleep or do the activities you love without any worry. TheraWorks Relief is my choice for preventing and relieving muscle cramps. Get TheraWorks Relief today in the pain relief aisle at Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, or just go to the website, TheraWorksRelief.com.
Mesothelioma kills. It has taken lives, destroyed families, and ruined childhoods. We need to take action immediately. The Mesothelioma Patient Registry Act of 2017 would create a patient registry for researchers. Cancer and ALS have it. Meso researchers need it too. We need to find a cure for this devastating disease. For more information on this bipartisan bill, visit iSaveTeam.org. That's iSaveTeam.org.
Minor accident on 3132 eastbound has traffic backed up from Walker Road to West 70th Street right now. And we have some backed up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Who's going to sneeze? Here's your Keel Weather Channel forecast. Mostly sunny and warm today, near 80. Right now, 57, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. It's 8 o'clock, and it's time for Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just a little past 8 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Miss Erin, local news, putting it together right now.
A man is murdered, gunman still on the run. We'll talk more about that. The parents of a Benton elementary student are suing the parish. We'll talk about that this morning, too. And Senator Greg Tarver and his harsh words for Adrian Perkins.
Political analyst Royal Alexander joins us in less than 10 minutes. We're going to run down the proposed constitutional amendments, all 15,250 of those. How can you say no?
Oh, boy.
Going to talk a little LSU football, the Tigers plus 14.5, holy cow. I don't know if I want to tell you guys about the dream again that I had last night, but it was on the creepy scale of 1 to 10. It's about a 22.
Real creepy.
A constitutional amendment. Fletcher Sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour here on KEEL.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
A man is murdered, gunman still on the run. Matt Parker has the latest.
A man was shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. According to police, the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night when a vehicle pulled up and someone inside opened fire. The man was struck multiple times. Investigators are still searching for clues and suspects. From 1017 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A Barksdale airman killed in a car crash Saturday night. Eduardo Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car crash that ultimately claimed his life. State police say Ramos was driving south on I-49 when he collided with a bridge railing. A pileup ensued behind his single-car crash. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off the overpass and was struck by another car. Troopers say Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time. Parents of a Benton Elementary 9-year-old student who say their child was abused by alleged serial predator and teacher Perry Norcross have filed suit against the school system, alleging negligence. Legal analyst Tim Mesh says if evidence surfaces that the school was warned about Norcross, they could be in trouble.
There information in his file showing that there were other complaints made that would need some type of evidence like that to be successful.
Norcross faces several charges today. Sunday night shooting leaves one wounded. According to police, more than 35 shots were fired from multiple guns during the incident. At this time, the only injury being reported is to a man who suffered a gunshot wound to the ankle area. Police say there are 2 crime scenes related, one on East Jordan, another on East Stoner. Shreveport Senator Greg Tarver has some harsh words for Adrian Perkins. He says this is just not the guy to lead the city.
We need someone in this race. Shreveport seem like if it continues this way where it's going to be a Detroit 5 or 7 years from now. We got to do something about bringing industry in here. We got to do something about the infrastructure.
Perkins tells KEEL, I'm not entertaining Tarver. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. Some doctors say this year could be bad for the flu. Some cases are already starting to appear across the state. A survivor of the Pittsburgh synagogue massacre describes the terrifying moment a gunman entered his darkened hiding spot. Barry Werber says the gunman didn't see us, thank God. 11 people were killed. 6 others were wounded. It's another World Series victory for the Red Sox. Boston captures its 4th World Series championship in 15 seasons, beating the LA Dodgers 5-1 Sunday in Game 5. The Senate Judiciary Committee chairman demanding answers into a California air base's almost $1,300 cups of coffee.
The Air Force in hot water for buying dozens of coffee cups over the past 3 years at California's Travis Air Force Base and spending almost $56,000 on those coffee cups. That Air Force Secretary Dr. Heather Wilson, responding to a Senate inquiry about wasteful spending, says the cups can reheat liquids on board cargo aircraft, telling Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Iowa Republican Chuck Grassley that a solution is in the works, though Grassley questioning why an alternative wasn't used in the first place. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Ten past 8 o'clock. KEEL traffic for Monday. Here's Ruben.
Dealing with a major accident on 3132 eastbound near Walker Road. It has traffic backed up to West 70th Street right now. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
12 past 8 o'clock. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Don't forget the KEEL app is a free download presented by Office Furniture Source. Political analyst Royal Alexander joins us for a little bit. Been a while, my friend. How you been?
Good to be back. Good to be back. Thank you for having me.
What do we want to cover first? The amendments. There are, did I get this right, 6 amendments, then a couple of...
In the fantasy sports betting, and in Caddo Parish, you have the renewal for the parks.
Yeah,
some new taxes. Excuse me. I know they're ad valorem property taxes. We're not supposed to refer to them as.
Well, if one rolls off, and you need a new one to resume the old one that rolled off.
No, wait a minute.
That's kind of a new tax. That was the stance. That was your specific stance about the sales tax.
Yes, I agree, but if you've been using these funds for parks, etc., and not like you mentioned, for building a fire station, and then the fire station's built, the tax should roll off. We're using this money to operate our parks. So if it's not going to change, what I'm paying today, I don't have a huge issue with it.
Constitutional amendment. Oh, listen to this because we have time. You ready for this? Parky, pull up your notes on state con. Do you have any idea?
Only because I listened to you all on my way over here.
Well, Matt did a little...
He found some more dirt.
He did some during the news research. And in much the same way that LSU football squad is in the top 5, the AP poll for college football, Louisiana is also in the top 5 for states with the most amendments to their constitution.
Oh, boy.
Let's start with... number 5.
Oh, hold on. I got to get down to number 5.
Okay, go ahead.
Because they're not in order. Where are you? Let's just start with number 4 because it's Louisiana.
Okay.
It's been amended 300 times, but here's the fun part. 300 times since the Constitution was adopted in 1975.
Now, we're going to run all these other numbers down, and California's got like 900 and something amendments. But they've had a constitution since 1870, okay? We've got what was the number again?
300.
300, and ours is not even 50 years old. And we need another one, but that's not the point.
Since 73, we definitely need one.
Yes.
Yeah. Who else is on that list?
Texas is on that list. It's been amended 498 times, but their constitution's been around since 1876. So,
Who's topping the list?
Number 1 is Alabama.
Look at that. They beat us again.
Oh, man.
But their constitution has been amended 905 times.
Much bigger point spread.
But that constitution's been around since 1901.
And whatever we do with Erin, don't bring up the Sabin Amendment.
Of these 6 constitutional amendments, do I go yes, 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 no, 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 or somewhere in between?
This is the first time in a long time that I could see voting for every one of them. Now, I know there's a few people who could quarrel with one or two of them, but I think in good conscience you could vote yes on every one of them. And let me very briefly explain. The two to me that are the most important, well, they're all important, but the unanimous jury verdict is very important because if we're going to have procedural fairness, procedural due process, and really say that someone has beyond a reasonable doubt been convicted of something, to me, having only 10 of 12, meaning 2, don't agree, sounds like the very definition of reasonable doubt.
It does sound like doubt, yeah.
And so, to me, we in Oregon are the only 2 who do it this way. I think we have to go to unanimous juries. And people tell me, well, then you're just going to allow one person to be able to hold the whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the state's burden to prove the case.
Right.
I mean, it's supposed to be difficult to convict someone and take away their liberty.
Number 4, the Transportation Trust Fund. Does this keep money from being spent from that fund on state police or whatever?
It does. If we vote for it, all that those funds from the money in the Transportation Trust Fund can be used for is infrastructure. And our state is so desperately in need of every kind, bridges, roads.
Sure.
So I love the work the state police do, but they can find funding elsewhere in that budget.
Write some more tickets.
Right.
I'm good with that.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice idea.
Yeah.
And that will happen, but yes, it will only allow that money to be used for infrastructure.
There's always that one proposed constitutional amendment that you look at it and you go, that doesn't make any freaking sense. I'll figure that out when I go in. Or I'll ask a friend about it, somebody like you who knows stuff. And then you go in there and it's this number 3 thing. Do you support an amendment to permit, pursuant to written agreement, the donation of the
Oh,
use
dear God, I
of
know.
the public equipment and personnel by a... What the hell is that?
First of all, that one is likely unnecessary because two agencies can already do a cooperative endeavor agreement to either share personnel or share equipment. I think it's a great idea for government to do that, being the strict fiscal conservative I am. I'm tired of, if this agency needs a backhoe, I don't want them to go have to buy a backhoe, borrow the backhoe from another agency over here. Those kind of things make government more efficient. But I'm not sure we needed an amendment because, as I say, agencies can write a cooperative endeavor agreement between them to do that. We don't probably need a constitutional amendment.
Number one confuses me. I thought if you were a convicted felon, you couldn't run for office.
If it's a state office, you can't, unless you've been pardoned.
Okay. Well, this says this amendment would prohibit a convicted felon from seeking or holding public office within 5 years of completing his sentence unless he's pardoned. Why do we need this amendment?
Well, because everyone doesn't get pardoned. In other words, you still have people there who won't ever get pardoned, who still think it was supposed to be 15 years that they'd have to wait. Now, but we messed that up. We didn't present that amendment correctly, so a court came back later and said, no, you don't have any time now because that's valid, that's null and void. So we came back with this saying, at least you're going to have to wait 5 years. And
we need this?
We do need it.
Okay.
I wish it were 15 years myself. I
Right.
do. I think the right to vote is sacred, and if you've abused the public trust, people say, well, they've already served their time, right, but they still abuse the public trust, and I wish they'd have to wait 15 years.
Let's take a little break here. Royal Alexander Moore is on the way. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, 19 past 8 o'clock. I think Ruben looks ready.
Dealing with a major accident on 3132 eastbound near Walker Road. It has traffic backed up to West 70th Street right now. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
.107 FM, 710 Keel. Time for Keel Sports. Keel Sports. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. Minnesota was driving late in the second quarter, up 13-10 over the Saints, when Alex Anzalone popped the ball loose from Adam Thielen. Marshawn Lattimore scooped it up and raced to the Minnesota 33-yard line. A 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty set the Saints up in great shape. 2 plays later, Alvin Kamara cashed in from the 1-yard line to give the Saints a 17-13 lead. After a Will Lutz field goal to make it 20-13 in the third quarter, P.J. Williams was able to quieten the U.S. Bank Stadium crowd with a 45-yard pick six to push New Orleans up 27-13. The Saints go on to win 30-20, and they're now 6-1, and they will host the 8-0 Rams next Sunday. Steve Pearce cranked a 2-run home run in the first and added a solo shot in the eighth to back David Price's 7 strong innings on the mound in the Red Sox World Series clinching 5-1 win over the Dodgers. Pearce was named the World Series MVP for his 3-homer, 8 RBI performance that helped generate Boston's 4th title in 15 years. Calvary alum and former LSU Tiger All-American Sam Burns birdied 3 of his final 5 holes to finish tied for 3rd in the Sanderson Farms Championship on the PGA Tour. It's his first top 3 finish. He pockets $255,200 for his weekend effort. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM, 710 Keel, political analyst. The brains of the outfit, Royal Alexander, is here. I got a question for you, because Erin sent me an email over the weekend I looked at. Who is Larry Cunningham, and why does this matter?
It matters because he really, in a way, represents all of us when it comes to the First Amendment and the Constitution. He was a Shreveport Police Department officer, a captain, and he has since retired, I think, because he was worried about being fired. So in a way, you could argue he was constructively discharged. But the long and short of it is that he took some time off during that period of time, as in the past he had done. Whenever he took a break, he grew a beard. And when he came back, he wanted to keep his beard because, and there's many instances of this, he felt that it deepened his faith. It strengthened his religious and spiritual faith. So he wanted to keep his beard. And the Shreveport Police Department has a policy of no beards, with the exception of if you have a medical condition, you can have a beard. It's got to be well kept, but you can have one. If you're undercover, you can have a beard, and 1 or 2 other things. So there's already a policy in place, and there's already several exceptions to it. And I think the court will end up deciding that.
Is he seeking his beard, so to speak, on a, for lack of a better term, religious exemption?
That's exactly
and
what
and you were saying you think the court will?
I think the court will require the city of Shreveport, the SPD, to allow this one exemption, because what a court has done in other states is going to say, wait a minute, these are secular reasons for medical purposes. For undercover work, those are secular reasons to grant a religious exemption. We have a religious reason here to grant an exemption. And
in your legal, in your legal mind, since that's kind of your day job, in your legal mind, does that give him a stronger leg to stand on, do you think?
I do. I think so, Robert. I think if you're going to allow someone to have an exception to a policy based on something that's not right there in the First Amendment of our Constitution, the free exercise of religion, then I think a court's going to say it won't pose any hardship on the Shreveport Police Department to allow this one other exception for spiritual reasons.
Okay.
And
so
what's spiritual about a beard?
Pardon me just a second. I want my dreads, bro.
That's a great question. A well-kept beard, to me, and other people have said this to me in talking about this case, is actually more professional looking than these tattoos some of those officers wear under their arms. Many of them are very bowed up. They do a great job, the Shreveport Police. But a lot of people, you can see them outside bars where they.
But the point I'm making is, for a great many people, those dreadlocks are in fact. I mean,
where do you draw the line?
It's a very slippery slope. Yay.
I grant you that, and that's why each different exemption will have to be granted, because the police, you have to have uniformity. You want to have uniformity of appearance. You want to have a look of professionalism. But as I say, and we haven't gotten to the case of the dreadlocks. What if a Rastafarian wants to
My
be part
point
of the
exactly.
That's why each exemption has to be granted based upon some indicia, some evidence of a sincerely held religious belief. And we all could think of many different things. But
what's religious about a beard?
Biblically, historically, beards, honestly, and I didn't realize this either because I never have had one, are thought to, in a way, help maintain a certain level of intensity about spiritual faith, a certain, maybe even level of dedication about spiritual faith. And I've read that several places, you know, and
but the beard could interfere if he wants to, if he's in charge of a riot scene and he's got to put on a gas mask. The beard could interfere. That's what they're going to argue, I assume.
But you already have certain
you do.
exceptions.
You do. What about those officers who have a medical exception? They're going to have to put the mask on their face too. How are they going to do it? They have a beard too,
right?
Or if you're undercover and you suddenly got to throw a mask on.
So is this an act? I'm suing the city. What is the status of that?
Yeah, if he's retired, what does it matter to him now?
Is he seeking some sort of financial recompense?
He is, but if you had a chance to read all 18 pages, they put him through a lot of hoops, he had qualified the way he was supposed to. He did the several steps to get re-entry after his time off.
Is there a number on this lawsuit? How much does he want? Have you looked?
There's not a specific figure so far. But under Section 1983, which is the federal civil rights statute, if you're successful under that, there's a separate statute that allows attorney's fees to be. This is the only reason taking on a claim like that is attractive, because what really is your damage for not being allowed to wear your beard?
What are policies in other cities with regard to beards?
Most of them grant similar exceptions.
Okay.
I think the bigger ones would grant religious exceptions. They would have had this because really with, you know, the Muslim face, other face, a lot of them, the Sikh they wear, more religious accommodations are being made in this country now. I mean, we're a pluralistic society. We're supposed to have freedom, free exercise.
Royal Alexander, a pleasure. Blah, blah. As always, good to see you, man.
Thank you.
29 past 8 o'clock. It's 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Erin has local news up next. Here's Ruben.
Dealing with a major accident on 3132 eastbound near Walker Road. It has traffic backed up to West 70th Street right now. And we have some backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of I-220 in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
The power of information. KEEL News now.
A man shot and killed on Lanier Street in Shreveport. Police say the victim was riding his bike around 8:40 Sunday night. When a vehicle pulled up, someone inside opened fire. The man was struck several times. The investigation continues. A bizarre car crash leaves a Barksdale airman dead. Matt Parker has that.
A Barksdale airman was killed in a car accident Saturday night. Edward Ramos Jr. was involved in a multi-car accident that ultimately claimed his life. According to state police, Ramos was driving southbound on I-49 when he collided with an overpass bridge rail. A pileup ensued behind his single-car accident. When Ramos exited his car, he accidentally fell off of the overpass and was struck by another vehicle. Troopers say that Ramos may have been intoxicated at the time of the wreck. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
A Sunday night shooting leaves a man wounded. According to police, more than 35 shots were fired from multiple guns. At this time, the only injury being reported is to a man who suffered a gunshot wound to his ankle area. Police say there are 2 crime scenes, one on East Jordan, another on East Stoner. Parents of a Benton Elementary School 9-year-old student who say their child was abused by alleged serial predator and teacher Perry Norcross have filed suit against the school system, alleging negligence. Legal analyst Tim Mesh says the framework of the suit closely mirrors litigation in the nationwide scandal involving a major religious organization.
These type of lawsuits are modeled after the lawsuits against the Catholic Church for priests abusing children.
Norcross is now accused of abusing 8 children at the school. Shreveport Senator Greg Tarver has some harsh words for Adrian Perkins. He says this is just not the guy to lead our city.
This race is very, very difficult to decide which one is going to lead the city, because let me say it and make it very clear to you so you won't have no doubt in your mind. This city's in trouble, but we need someone who loves the city of Shreveport, who won't be here in the city of Shreveport, who's willing to work and devote their life.
Perkins tells KEEL, I'm not entertaining Greg. He has nothing to do with my campaign. He knows numbers and politics and understands what's about to happen. Greg is upset at the fact that he's going to have zero influence over City Hall. A survivor of the Pittsburgh Synagogue massacre is describing the terrifying moment a gunman entered his darkened hiding spot. Barry Werber says the gunman didn't see us. Thank God. 11 people were killed. 6 others were wounded. Halloween, one of the most anticipated nights of the year for youngsters. It can also be one of the most dangerous. Jeff Manasso has that.
Safe Kids Worldwide reports that on average, children amped up on sugar, excited, and distracted are more than twice as likely to be hit by a car on Halloween than on any other night of the year.
First, really basic, drive scary slow.
Chevy Safety's Tricia Morrow says limit phones and other distractions, wear seatbelts, and use safety tech when available, and that masks and driving don't mix.
So if you have a mask as part of your costume, just take it off while you're driving, really making sure that you can focus on the road.
Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
Boston Red Sox are the World Series champs. The Sox beat the LA Dodgers 5-1 to take the series in 5 games. LA Dodgers manager Dave Roberts spoke about his team never giving up through the season.
I can't say enough about our ball club, the fight, the compete. All year when it didn't look so good, our guys stuck together, stayed the course, and believed in one another, and put ourselves in a chance to win a championship.
Steve Pearce named the World Series MVP. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. I'm going to throw some names at you.
Okay.
And I want to see if you know them.
Mm-hmm.
And you may know the first one. The others are a little more obscure. Parky will know some of these. Do you know who J.J. Redick is?
J.J. Redick.
Yeah.
He's a sports guy. Don't know where. Don't know where I know him.
That's the only of these names you're going to get.
Okay.
J.J. Redick is a guard for the Philadelphia 76ers, the 27th highest paid player in the NBA. How much money a year do you think the 27th highest paid player in the NBA? J.J. Redick, hardly a superstar.
Yeah, hardly.
So how much money do you think the 27th, 12 guys to a team, 30 teams, how much do you think the 27th highest NBA paid player made?
I'm going to go $5 million a year.
$23 million a year.
$23 million a year.
You know who? Do you have any? Here's some more names, just if you can identify them. Do you have any idea who Harrison Barnes is?
No clue.
Harrison Barnes plays for the Dallas Mavericks. He is the 25th highest paid player in the NBA. $23.1 million.
Wow.
Do you have any idea who Bradley Beal is?
No clue.
Bradley Beal is a guard for the Washington Wizards, the 20th highest paid player in the NBA.
Oh, man.
Wouldn't you think the 20th highest paid player in the NBA should be a household name?
Yeah.
Somebody everybody's heard of?
Right.
$23.8 million. You ever heard of C.J. McCollum?
No.
Plays for Portland. 19th highest paid player in the league. $24 million. You ever heard of a guy named Mike Conley?
No.
Plays for Memphis. The seventh highest paid player in the NBA is somebody you've never heard of. He makes $28.5 million a year.
Whoa.
Just remember this. This is Robert's rule of thumb. $1 million a year. If you make $1 million a year, you're making $20,000 a week. So multiply that by, 28. You ever heard of a guy named Kyle Lowry?
No.
Toronto Raptors. 6th highest paid player.
What?
In the NBA, $28.7 million a year.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that the problem with the NBA, though? I mean, as a whole, you have about 4 superstars, and otherwise they're just mediocre guys playing basketball.
Highest paid player in the NBA, you'll know this, Steph Curry, $34 million a year.
Well, I know the LeBron deal was $153 million.
And he's the 4th highest paid player.
Over 4 years.
He's the 4th. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, it's 8:39. Traffic update for Monday. That little spooky noise. Here's Ruben.
Kings Highway and Linwood Avenues dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still looking at that backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
I want you to think about all those NBA guys you've never heard of who are making like $25 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
Next time you think about not buying the $40 million Powerball ticket because that's chump change.
Man.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. I touched on this in the 6 o'clock hour, and it's something that Erin and I have talked about before. Specifically, your dad died in what years?
87.
And he was still a young man.
61.
Okay, and your mom died about, what, 4 years ago now?
Yeah, in 15.
Okay, my mother died in 1998, and she was 79. My dad died in 2010. He was 93. The point I'm making is and we've talked about this, we will occasionally dream about our parents. I still dream about my dogs sometime, the 2 Yorkshire Terriers.
Weird.
But the point, yes. But the point is of all this, and I've asked Erin this morning early, I asked Rogers Hampton, Tim's producer, because his dad, Rogers Hampton Sr., I said, do you ever dream about your dad? And he said, yeah, all the time. I said, in the dream, when your dad is in your dream, in your mind, is it just business as usual, another day with your dad, or is he a dead guy who somehow came back to life? Does that ever cross your mind in the dream? I've asked you that. When you dream about your mom, when you dream about your mother, your late mother, in the dream, is it just another day with mom? You're doing stuff, or you never stop and say, "Wait, what? Hold on, didn't you die?"
No, we're just doing stuff.
Last night, well, I dream about my parents not a lot, maybe once a month or so. And they're in the dream, and it's always business as usual. And I just always, like, I wake up, and I always go, wow, why didn't you ask? What you been up to? What you doing? Dad, how's purgatory? You know, I mean, and you're the same way. Most people, it seems, when they dream about deceased family members, parents, relatives, whatever it happens to be, it's just business as usual.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I told you that to tell you this. When we were on KVKI, and even before that, going back to like pre-2003 on 94.5 next door, we would have on one Friday a month family therapist Dixie Richards. And Miss Dixie would have a theory about dreams. And most psychologists, you'll read about the symbolism of hot dogs chasing donuts through tunnels. Oh, my God, what could this be?
Right.
Oh, I don't know. But she didn't approach it from that point of view.
No.
Do you remember what she said about dreams?
Absolutely. She said, you got to figure out what is the emotion in the dream. How does it correlate with what emotion you're dealing with in your real life?
Corresponds to your current life situation.
What are you going through currently that the emotion in that dream parallels?
Exactly. Now, I had a dream last night.
This is so bizarre.
I had a dream last night with my mother in it. Okay? And in the dream, this is a two-parter. And when I tell you part two, part one you'll go, what the hell? Part two, you're going to go, what the hell? In my dream last night, my mother and I were smuggling cats out of Saudi Arabia.
Huh?
Yeah, that was the dream. We were smuggling.
What?
I don't know. We were just, it was important to her, and I was helping. I was lending a hand. And at some point, I said, well, can we take some dogs? And she said, no, we only have room for cats.
And you're shoving cats into your luggage?
And I remember, I remember we were taking off in the airplane from the Addis Ababa airport, and there were like oil fires, and the air was really thick and acrid with oil fire smoke, and we had to get the cats out before it was too late.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, that's part one. Part two of that is, I have a complete understanding of that dream.
Oh, wow.
Based on the Dixie Richards theory of dreams, which is, once again,
what are the emotions in the dream, and how do they correlate with the emotions you're experiencing in real life?
I have a 100% understanding of that dream.
So what is it?
I'm not going to tell you. There's some stuff going on. I'm not going to. I may tell you off the radio, but no. But a 100. When I woke up, instantly, whenever I have strange dreams, especially dreams with dead people,
yeah,
the first thing I think about is what Dixie said. The second thing is she right? And it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm going, yeah, I know what this is about.
Oh my goodness.
100%.
Wow. That's nutty.
I may tell you later. I may make you buy me margaritas.
Oh Lord!
Isn't that nuts?
That's really bizarre.
Very bizarre. My mother and I were smuggling cats
out of Saudi Arabia.
Out of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, did you make it home?
I beg your
pardon?
Did
you make it home with the cats?
I don't know. Woke up.
You woke up?
Woke up too early.
Oh,
God. The flight attendant was suspicious. I have no idea. That's
very
and
weird.
you know I've told you the history of my dreams is so bizarre anyway.
Yeah.
That I haven't told the blue coat dream in a lot of time.
Oh man.
So this weekend on Saturday, Erin, speaking of dreaming, She thinks LSU's going to win.
Hey, LSU is going to win.
The Tigers are a 14.5-point underdog.
It's Saturday night in
the
Tiger
largest
Stadium.
Point spread, the biggest underdog at home that LSU has been since 1999. So you tell me why you think they're going to win, other than the magic of the arena.
Yeah, it's going to be magical. It is going to be a magical night.
You know what's magic is Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, he is, but we have a great defense. We have great defenders. LSU's defense is nothing like Alabama's seen before. They have not been tested. We have been tested.
They lost to Florida.
Look, Florida's a good team, by the way.
Parky, do me a favor. Don't look up the point spread. We know that 14.5. Look up the over-under. How many points is, you know what is an underreported factor in this game?
What?
Is Alabama's defense.
Yeah, Alabama's got a good
Tua
defense.
Tagovailoa. He's on his way to the Heisman Trophy as a 19 or 20-year-old.
I'll just give the trophy to him now, by the way they
Let
sound.
me ask you. You tell me right now, Ms. Football Analyst, how many points is Joe Burrow going to have to put up on the board to beat Alabama?
At least 30. You're going to have to score 30.
So, look, has LSU scored 30 in any game this season?
Yes. I'd have to go pull it, but yes, we have. LSU's capable of scoring 30 points.
Against Alabama.
No doubt.
Parky, did you find the over-under yet?
I'm looking down the full list of Vegas odds. I haven't gotten to the LSU game yet.
You know what? There's a shot. I know.
So you're saying there's a chance.
I know it's going to be a tough game, but I truly think.
You think it's going to be a close game?
Yeah.
Do you think,
yeah.
Do you think remember now, Tua Tagovailoa, the front runner for this year's Heisman Trophy, has not played a down in the fourth quarter all season.
Mm-hmm.
And so what you're telling me is, look me in the eye and say, I think going into the fourth quarter, it's going to be a game.
I think going into the fourth quarter, it's going to be a game.
849, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update coming up right now. Here's Ruben.
Dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now, and we're still looking at that backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
KeelAccuweather.com forecast sunny and warmer today near 80 at 61 at Keel 850. Your money now, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute. The first section of Donald Trump's border wall is now completed. The 30-foot tall wall is 2.5 miles long and is in the city of Calexico in Southern California.
And look, make no mistake about it. We need American immigrants. Immigrants that are legal and filled to the brim with optimism, embracing assimilation in our country, and that despite our diversity, believe that we are all one under God.
Conservatives aren't opposed to immigration. We're opposed to illegal immigration. And if we cut down on illegal immigration, that makes legal immigration a lot easier.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
Mark.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. What day is Halloween? I don't even know.
Wednesday.
I guess.
Wednesday's Halloween.
This
October
is-
31st.
So is that the day we're supposed to, like, costume up?
Yeah, dress up.
For work?
Dress up, because Town Square has this big competition. Dress up and wear something crazy.
What's first prize?
I think we get a party.
What are you going to wear?
I'm not sure yet. I have choices.
What do you narrowed it down to?
Vampiress.
Yeah.
Zombie. I might come as an Alabama football player. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about
Is there
that.
a joke to this? Or you just
No,
looking to
I'm
get-
not. You just have to wait and see.
Get backed over by a radio station's van.
You just have to wait and see. Yeah.
Roll Tide on that.
I've told you this before, and you look at me and your eyes get big and your jaw slackens and you just look at me like I'm crazy. And well, in much the same way that you look at me when I talk about birthdays, in that well, when I was a kid, I never cared about Halloween.
That's so nuts.
I just never cared. I'm gonna stay inside, watch TV. We have candy at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not gonna. No, it just was never, ever, ever a focal point of my childhood.
Right.
It just wasn't. When I was a kid, I was 100. You're looking at me like I'm anti-American. You're looking at me like I'm burning a flag down here.
Mm.
It just never mattered a damn to me when I was little, and means even less now.
Right.
If kids don't come to my house, just, this is a great idea. The HOA says we're closing the gate at 6. An awesome idea. Build a fence. We don't need a fence in Mexico with the Mexico border. We need a fence at the edge of my subdivision.
Oh, my goodness.
Keep those
You're
little-
such a Scrooge.
It's a caravan of masked kids.
You're a Halloween Scrooge.
Call the military. Turn them away. Back Monday morning. Wait, today's Monday, isn't it?
Yeah, today is Monday, yeah.
I have no idea what.
Man, you're lost.
Happy Friday, everybody. We're wrapping it up for the week.
See you guys on Thursday. It's 8:56, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Back tomorrow morning, 6 till 9. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Kim Commando.
We all know to watch out for email phishing scams. But what are the top brands spoofed by scammers? And what are the most popular days they send out their bogus email? The answers will surprise you. Kim Commando with your Monday Consumer Tech Update. Get the best night's sleep ever, guaranteed. Casper.com, promo code KIM. Bade Secure published their annual phishing report and revealed the top 5 spoofed brand scammers used to steal your money. On the list, Microsoft, PayPal, Netflix, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo. And scammers are now marketers, sending fake emails on specific days to increase chances of success. Microsoft phishing emails peak on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Netflix phishing attacks happen during the weekend. And banking phishing attacks peak Saturdays and Sundays. Very clever. Bank customer support lines are typically closed on the weekends, making it harder for the targets to verify the authenticity of a bank phishing email. I'm Kim Commando. Everyone knows sleep is important, especially for your health. The mattress you sleep on affects whether you'll have a good night's rest or not. And that's why I want to tell you about my new Casper Sleep mattress. I sleep cool and comfortable every night, thanks to the unique combination of foams that provide the right pressure relief and alignment. And I know that once you try Casper, you're going to love yours as much as I love mine. Switching to Casper is a no-brainer. It's a high-quality mattress at an affordable price. Casper ships right to your door for free in a small, how did they do that size box? And if you don't love it, they'll pick it up and refund you everything. Sleeping on a mattress is the best way to try it. Put Casper to the test in your own home for 100 nights, risk-free. Go to Casper.com and use promo code KIM for $50 towards the purchase of select mattresses. That's Casper.com, promo code KIM, and get $50 towards the purchase of select mattresses. Terms and conditions apply. That's Casper.com, promo code KIM.
Breaking news and trending talk. We are 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEELnews.com.
Kings Highway and Linwood Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we're still looking at that backed-up traffic on I-20 westbound near Benton Road due to construction. If you have anything to report to us, please give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Fine weather here today and tomorrow, but strong thunderstorms on the way for midweek and some heavy rain possible Wednesday night into Thursday. Patchy fog here this morning with sunshine, 83. Tonight clear, low 63. Tomorrow sunshine's in the forecast, 81. Thunderstorms on Wednesday. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk.